Hi guys, Adam here. I'm with Steve. We're outside Old Trafford on Sir Matt Busby Way. 3-0. I said it was going to be 3-0. I didn't expect that to score a hat-trick though.
Yeah, I was hoping for the 12-1 I predicted, but you know, you got to take that. And 1-0, I wasn't happy. At 1-0, I'm thinking going away to Etienne here with a 1-0 lead, that's not good. And at half time, we didn't look like we was really good for the win. In all honesty, we was loose at the back. We was allowing them. I'm buzzing off people playing two up front at the moment, but not against us because we struggled with it. They pressed and harried our back four, and that made Bay make mistakes. It made Tony Valencia look a little bit shaky in possession. We struggled getting it through to that middle third. Without getting it through to the middle third, then you're resorting to try and oof it. And I thought it was a strange one while you're playing those tactics to take off Fellaini, but that's what he did, and maybe it was a consequence of us playing those balls. He wasn't happy with us playing those balls. He was like, well, if I take him off, you're not going to put a long ball up to Jesse Lingard, are you?
And you're not going to Zlatan because he's always on the halfway line.
No, and do you know what? And I'm sure
I love you, Zlatan.
The comments are going to go bananas here. He was clinical today, which he hasn't been, and he's an unbelievable stat. That's his 18th goal in 17 games at Old Trafford. No, I mean 18 goals for Man United in 17 games at Old Trafford, which means obviously he's only scored 4 or 3 or something away from home. But either way, that's a cracking stat here.
5.
Whatever. It's a cracking stat here, and he was clinical today. But I still don't think it was a good performance from him in the whole. I thought it was. I'm not saying it was bad. I thought Watford was poor, but this was just mediocre.
Can you explain why? Because a lot of people, look, this isn't a criticism of people that don't go to games and all that. It's not a criticism. But can you explain to people why you thought? Because on the television, they see him passing the ball, they see him getting chances, they see this, see that.
The television is it's highlights, and what's highlights fundamentally? It's the highlights. It's not
even if they've watched 90 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the view that we have. And obviously everybody around us sort of shares the same sort of view. It's a very tactical, it's a tactics board view of the game, isn't it? It's high, it's elevated, and you can see everything. Against Watford, it was the runs he wasn't making. It was the runs that other players was making that he wasn't finding. It was an attitude thing almost with him. He wasn't bleeding for the cause. Tonight he was just a little on the sloppy side. And his positioning wasn't there. He wasn't hungry to get beyond that last man. He was in some great positions. He did find some decent passes, but it was an average performance. I wouldn't say it was a great performance from Zlatan. I've seen Zlatan absolutely roasting teams and not score. I've seen Zlatan controlling things like the re-embodiment of Cantona and not score and not really get the plaudits for it. Yeah, if I say I don't think Zlatan had a good game against Watford, that's because I think Zlatan didn't have a good game in that 90 minutes. That doesn't mean that everything that he did up to that point needs throwing in the bin. That doesn't mean that anything that he does from the rest of the season's worthless. It means that 90 minutes, I didn't think he was great. Today, I didn't think he was great, but not being great doesn't mean that
his finishing was better
poor.
Today.
He was more clinical today, which is what he's needed to be. He wasn't great, but he wasn't shit. And there's a difference. Everyone thinks everything's got to be extremes. It's amazing or it's nothing in the middle. Today he was just pretty ordinary, but his finishing was extraordinary. It was great. It was great to see that he's actually pulled it out. And if he can continue to be ordinary and score 3 goals, sweet.
Are we through?
You would hope so. I don't see a Jose. I was going to say I don't see a Jose Mourinho side losing 4-0, but we won't say that. I don't see us getting overturned to that degree.
We lost.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I don't think we'll get overturned to that, and I think we can get an away goal. I thought they was loose at the back as well today, and it was us being clinical for a change that actually got us over the line. Sergio Romero, second best goalkeeper in the world, again pulling out some mad stuff.
What was he doing at the start of the game?
I think he was trying to intimidate people into not taking shots on him and stuff. He's like, it's goalkeepers, isn't it? They're mental. Like officially mental. When everyone's running around kicking a ball and you're like, I'm gonna catch it. Yeah, you're weird, aren't you? So fundamentally weird people.
What?
Do you know what? Let's. I don't want to just bag on us after we've won 3-0. Let's talk about the positives, because the positives was Ander Herrera's work rate. I'm in love with the guy.
Zlatan's hat-trick.
Obviously Zlatan's hat-trick. But Paul Pogba today, there was the turn the second half in front of the Stretford end. Ooh. Turns, looks up, bends it, and it's just past the post. And you're like, yeah, it's one of the best goals Old Trafford's seen if he puts it in. That was Paul Pogba really stepping up to the plate tonight. Don't know if it was because his brother was playing. Don't know if it's because his mum and his other brothers in the crowd, and the whole Pogba family's here for a night out. Paul Pogba's had more performances like that in a red shirt then he's had bad performances. But the haters don't want to know about that. Him and Ander Herrera are a cracking duo together. And I think the future of Manchester United is going to be built around...
Someone else said that today, that they're really positive about that midfield.
It's great. I mean, is it the best in the world? No. But is it the start of
the potential to be one of the...
One of the, yeah. But it's a team game, isn't it? The defence has to be solid. Didn't look solid tonight. We kept a clean sheet, but it didn't look solid.
Do you feel that was because we maybe underestimated Etienne? Because I felt our fullbacks were very high up the pitch, our centre halves were very wide. So as a result, there were a lot of gaps in that defence. And do you think that was underestimated?
It was their press, mate. 2 forwards pressing against 2 centre halves. Normally it's a single forward, isn't it? Single forward pressing against 2 centre halves. They piggy in the middle him a little bit and he goes, oh, bollocks. And he doesn't keep chasing, whereas you got 2, one's going for one goes for the other, and now your centre halves are under pressure. The problem is, and as they found out, as everybody who tries 4-4-2 finds out, you leave yourself vulnerable either in the middle or at the back. And that's what they did. We could get to their back 4 quite easily once we got the ball in the final third. Anthony Martial, don't know what he's been taking, needs to keep taking it. Absolutely fantastic. If Jose Mourinho wants to keep people out of the team, make them hungry and then bring them in and they put levels of performance in.
I got to stop you there.
All day.
Because I don't know if we're just seeing Anthony Martial be Anthony Martial or whether it's because he's that good anyway, is he not? Sorry, but yeah. Sorry, Jose. Mickey, do you think we missed him today?
No, I don't think we did. I thought there was opportunities we was creating. I mean, when you... No, this without being a slight on Fellaini, as little as it can be a slight on Fellaini, Fellaini is not Mkhitaryan. And that was literally the change from the weekend, essentially, wasn't it? So when you take Mkhitaryan out of the side and you put Fellaini in, you've altered the dynamic of a team. And he was okay. He didn't do anything majorly wrong. Like I said earlier, I thought he was unfortunate to be the one that suffered at half-time, but I think that was a tactical thing. And like I've said many times so far this season, I'm impressed with Jose's bravery. He don't give a shit. If it needs to fix it up at half-time, and it was a different game in the second half, wasn't it? What people need to realise about Jesse Lingard is he's never going to be in the Ballon d'Or rankings. He's never going to be in the FIFA Pro Team of the Year. But he offers something. He offers an energy and he offers a tempo to a team. And when you need to press back, the pace and the determination that Jesse Lingard's got, and especially when you couple it with Marcus Rashford coming on later in the game as well.
He looks so unhappy, he does.
Yeah, doesn't he? I'll get onto him in a second, actually. But what Jesse Lingard does is he brings that tempo and that energy, and he's a completely different footballer in every sense of the word to what Fellaini is.
So many English footballers haven't got the brain either. You know, that movement, that constant movement off the ball. I'm going to be unselfish. I'm going to move, and Zlatan's going to have extra space. And people don't see it. I mean, maybe that's something you don't see on TV as well, because when you're watching it on the television, you don't see the full pitch. So
no one's saying that Jesse Lingardinho needs to start for Manchester United every single week.
I am.
But squads are built on having players like that. He's the Nicky Butt of this squad. You know, he's a guy that you end up...
Nicky Butt would knock him clean out, but yeah.
No doubt whatsoever. I mean, there was at one point he fouled Pogba's brother and you're like, are you kidding me? It looks like it's his son. How's he managed that? But anyway, Marcus Rashford made his 50th appearance for Manchester United today.
It's 32nd of the season, which is not much for a 19-year-old that's just made his breakthrough, is it?
He's not even... I think we're a few days off his year anniversary of his debut. So inside a year, he's made 50 appearances from Manchester United, right? Think about that. In a calendar year, 50 appearances from Manchester United. And the press wanted to say he was moaning about not getting game time. Think of a better lie, lads. Come on, I mean, you're saying he's not renewing his contract because he's just renewed it. He renewed it in May, so you don't renew contracts after 7 months. And he's not happy with the amount of game time he's got. I know for a fact Marcus is happy with the game time that he's getting. I know for a fact that he's buzzing, enjoying, learning off Ibrahimovic and learning and being at this club. The guy's a Manchester United fan. 50 appearances deep.
This time last year, he would have been hoping to nail a spot in the 23s, never mind the first.
He was probably looking at hoping to extend his pro contract, and that was about it. He'd played 2 games in the under-21s at this point last year, and he wasn't exactly tearing it up in the under-18s. He's adapted to being literally thrown in at the deep end better than anyone I've ever seen. Unbelievable. And that's because of his work rate and his attitude. Literally, of all the players that you could have made up a lie about that was kicking off and sulking and not wanting to renew, Rashford's the bottom of that list.
Yeah, can we call this video Rashford and Lingard Appreciation Society, please, Chris? Cheers. Who's your man of the match?
Torn between Pogba and Herrera.
You know what they're going to say, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Zlatan had the bigger impact on the game, didn't he, by scoring, how many days? There was that one, there was that other one, and then there was the last one, so...
Hat-trick.
Yeah.
Zlat-trick.
Look, it wasn't the best game in the world apart from his finishing, but ultimately, like I said earlier, if he has average games like that, where he's putting away the chances that he gets for a change, sweet.
You didn't say your man of the match because I interrupted you, sorry. Go on, one word. Quick.
I'm going to say Herrera.
Cheers.